I just woke up from Australia. Finally caught up. Today is, I gotta update you guys, I know it's been a few days. Today is Wednesday, 29th. March 29th. Before I left for Australia, I had some things that were kind of up in the air. And while I was away, it was all I was thinking about. It was something that I was like, when I get back home, I need to take care of this. And it's something that's been going on for a long time. But over these last couple of days, I've had meeting after just thoughts and brainstorming and planning. I'm gonna share that with you guys later on. But for now, this is my pre-workout meal. So thanks to Chef's Cut Jerky for sending over these sticks. There's different kinds. This is the barbecue flavor. They sent over barbecue chicken, right? Chicken stick. They sent buffalo chicken, jalapeno cheddar, and like one other one, I think.
Original, I think.
But I just...
Smokehouse, yeah. Original Smokehouse.
So it's 1 p.m. now. I haven't eaten anything, so this is what I'm gonna eat. And drink the Monster on the way to the gym. Probably not ideal for a training session, but you know, we just gotta get something in. But this is something that Brittany has me doing now. Drinking Monster out of a straw because the tops of these, they are pretty disgusting. If you think about the fact that they're like
how many people touch it, it sits in like factories, it's just gross.
There's like bugs crawling on it and shit, and people like throwing case on top of case, and then
also even
people
just like,
you do that thing where you like, it's like in the front of the 7-Eleven shelf, and then you touch it or move it out of the way and grab the one behind it. A lot of people are touching the top of this, so at the very least, wipe down the top of the can before you take a sip of it. Oh, I just don't like carbonated drinks through a straw. It's not the same.
It's so good.
Maybe I'll just carry around a sponge and wash the top of it.
No, just drink it like that. It tastes so good.
I'm just kidding. We got bench and then some push accessory work. Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're doing a voiceover. Not going to talk too much about programming, but more so a few technique things. So I started off with the barbell bench press, and you got to do whatever it is that you need to do to prime yourself for your working set. So that might mean some mobility work, external rotations, band dislocates, warming up with just a bar, a 5, a 10, a 25. Whatever you're doing, you want to make sure you're warming up properly, but not warming up to the point where it turns into a workout and you're fatiguing yourself for your working weights. So that's different for everyone. You just got to find what works best for you. But as far as technique goes, what you see me doing here is working on my setup. So what I'm working on here is retracting and depressing my scapula and really digging my traps into that bench so I have a stable base to press off of. And this is going to keep our shoulders as healthy as possible. So this is another way you can set up where you're pulling yourself through. You're setting your traps first, then you're getting your foot placement, and then you're going to get your hand placement. And this is something I've played around with for months and even years. You want to find the same setup every single time, so every time you get under that bar and you're about to bench, you feel like you're really tight and you're not shifting around a lot. So that's something that I'm still working on, trying to find what I feel most comfortable with. And my man Omar actually just did a really good video talking about the bench press, and I'm going to link that on the screen for you guys right now if you want to go ahead and check that out. And the other thing I want to talk about is just my setup from the side and what my form looks like. So you can see that there's a space between my back and the bench. And what I'm doing is I have my shoulder blades retracted and depressed. So again, we're trying to keep the shoulders safe. And I have an arch in my lower back, which is bringing my chest up and closer to the bar. So I'm actually limiting the range of motion, which is what you want to do. The shorter the range of motion, the easier the lift is going to be. And the goal is to make the lift as easy as possible while still generating tension and progressively overloading. So that's why you see a lot of powerlifters have a huge arch in their lower back, because the distance the bar has to travel between their chest and lockout is a lot shorter. The thing is you don't have to do this. I know some people who bench with a completely flat lower back and they keep their back safe on the pad. That's all personal preference. What's really important is that you're finding something that's comfortable for you and you don't get locked into extension like that. But I highly suggest playing around with your form with lighter loads so you can get comfortable. And then the last thing is just how you're actually pressing. So the bar is not traveling in a complete straight up and down line. You're actually bringing it down in sort of an arch. So bringing it down to my nipple line and then pressing back and up. So it takes a little while to get used to. I used to just press up and down a long time ago, and it doesn't feel good on your shoulders. So make sure that you're always working on your technique. And again, Omar covers a lot of good technique stuff on his channel with the bench press. So make sure to go check that out. And then I finished off with 3 sets of 15 on the close grip bench. I don't know what it is, but since I've come home from Australia, I'm feeling crazy strength. It must have been all the food I ate, so I think we're going to attempt a PR. I forgot to put the 2.5 on the other side. I almost killed myself. Next up, seated dumbbell shoulder press. Now, we're going to take what I said about the bench press, and I'm actually going to reverse that a little bit. So I was talking about having an arch in your lower back to limit the range of motion. On this, if you want to make this exercise more effective and a lot more difficult, I guarantee you're not going to be able to lift as much, but think about pressing your lower back into that pad and keeping your abs down and tight. So you'll see what I do before I actually start to press. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blow some air out and tighten my core, which will drive my lower back into that bench. That's going to keep yourself in a healthier position and keep your lower back safer. And one thing you notice on all shoulder press movements, whether it's seated dumbbell, standing dumbbell, or overhead press, is there's a lot of arch in the lower back, and that's putting stress on your lower back, which is something that you don't want. So in the bench press, you're trying to limit range of motion and keep yourself safer. In a shoulder press, you want to keep your lower back and your shoulder safe, so you actually want to have a more tight core when you're pressing. After that, I moved into some dumbbell lateral raises, and you see I start with them seated, so my form is a little bit more strict. There's still a bit of momentum, but when I fatigue completely sitting down, I stand up and finish off the set. So it's a lot easier when you're standing. You can use a little bit more controlled cheating, but I did do an entire video on how to grow bigger delts, and I put a lot of time into that video, so if you want to check that one out, I'll have that linked on the screen and in the description box for you as well. Finishing off the workout, we did a few more exercises. So this here is just a single arm hammer strength incline chest press. So you see me actually twisted to the side a little bit, and the reason I'm doing that is it just feels more comfortable on my shoulder. If I was to sit with my back flat against the pad, sitting square with the machine, so facing straight, it just doesn't feel comfortable for me. So this is another thing, just play around with it. If you've never done single arm presses before, I would recommend it. It's also a great way to find out if you have any kind of strength imbalance. So maybe your right side is stronger than your left side, and you can go ahead and even that out by doing unilateral exercises like this. So after that, we moved into some tricep press down. So this actually is a machine that you don't see in many gyms, and I just thought it was fun. So it's a hoist seated tricep dip machine. And what I like about it is that the seat is actually moving with you. So it just puts you in a really good position when you're pressing. It keeps your shoulders safe. And if you do have this machine, I would say at least just check it out and see how it feels for you. So we did about 4 sets on that, 10 to 12 reps. And last up, we did some chest flies. And you can see me setting up here as if I was on a barbell bench press. So again, trying to keep those shoulder blades back and down, which is going to keep our chest in a good position and take a lot of the stress off of our shoulders. And that's one thing I hear a lot, is that when people do chest flies, they feel it in their front delts and not in their pecs. So one way I see this exercise done wrong, whether it's on this machine or on a cable, is that people are trying to touch their fists together and not think about bringing their elbows together. So a main function of your chest is to bring your upper arm across the midline of your body. So it's adduction of the arm. And what people do is they think that when their hands touch, the movement's finished, but you're missing out on a lot of the range. So think about, instead of touching your hands together, squeezing your elbows together, and you should get a much better contraction that way. And one more thing you could do to increase the range of motion is to just do these one arm at a time. So you can see I'm able to bring my arm much further across the midline of my body, but it doesn't mean that you want to go as far as possible. So I see some people do these with one arm and end up doing this and trying to get more range. So they're taking their back off the pad and really bringing their shoulder forward. Keep yourself locked into position. Bring your arm as far as it will go to get the biggest contraction you can in your chest. Return, and that is going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of these tips in this video. If you enjoyed things like that, go ahead, drop a like on the video, leave some comments down below about other stuff you would like to see, and enjoy the rest of it, guys. Oh shit, whoa! These are new shoes that I haven't worn yet. I've had them for a while. They're so damn slippery, I almost just wiped out. Movement watch, Alphalete shirt.
Zara.
Got the skinny jeans and the no calves. Can you see my calf through?
Yeah, you can.
Look at that.
It's there.
It's just the lighting. I bet you if I had better lighting, it'd really show. Or if I worked them out. And Aldo shoes. So right now we're about to head to Starbucks, do some client programming, drink some coffee, caffeinate ourselves, and then...
We might have another meeting tonight.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, let's go get some work done. Alright, we're home from Starbucks, and right now I haven't done a recipe video for you guys in a long time, so we're not doing any fancy edits because then you don't know how to make the damn thing. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to make food taste good, macro-friendly, and very easy. So we're making steak tacos. So this is chuck tender steak we picked up at Target. 4 of them, what does that say, $6.99?
Other side, but yeah.
Yep, right there. Each one is 6 fat, 0 carb, 24 protein. So we're just going to use one. That we're gonna cube up and throw in the pan. You can cook it whole in the pan, it would just take a little bit longer. And we're gonna end up cutting it up anyway, so you might as well cut it up beforehand. To make things easier, kitchen shears. It's so much easier than using a knife. So what we're gonna do is, the pan's getting hot right now. You want a hot pan before you throw the steak in. So we're gonna cut it up into, you could do it in strips or you could do it in cubes. Look at that outfit of the day though. I am not ruining this shit. With my luck, I'm gonna get shit right here.
Yep.
Or like on my sleeve. Or on my back somehow. All right. Pan's hot. You know how you can tell if your pan's hot? Like this. That's hot. So that's as simple as that. While that's going, we're gonna come over here and we're just gonna shred up a little bit of lettuce. And then we're using these guys right here. So these are corn tortillas. If you have corn tortillas, you have flour tortillas. These are gonna have better macros and they're cheap. So this is 24 of these, the Mission brand, so they're not just a store brand, was under $2 from Target. So we're gonna take about 3 or 4 of these or so. So what you wanna do is you wanna heat them up. So either in tin foil in the oven or in toaster oven, way too much time, or you take a wet paper towel, wrap these in a wet paper towel, microwave for 10 to 15 seconds, and they'll be soft. So that's what we're gonna do. Do this, and do that. Very simple, you don't have to get fancy with it. I know people already tell me I'm doing this wrong, but we're not gonna start that yet because we're gonna wait for the steak to be done. Steak's done, cooked at about medium rare, only took 3 or 4 minutes. So now we got the tacos, microwave these for about 15 seconds. A little bit of steak. Probably should have made 2 pieces of steak, but it's all good. Just trying to get a recipe out for the people. We're gonna do a little bit of chopped up jalapenos. So I just took these slices and chopped them up. Non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Sounds disgusting, but this is what I'm using as a substitute for sour cream because it tastes like sour cream. Throw that on each one. Guac. Guac's extra, but I'm telling you, it's gonna add a ton of flavor. Some guac on each one of these. This is Frank's Red Hot Slammin' Sriracha, so a little bit of this on each. Some shredded lettuce. And that's it, those are our tacos. This is actually really low calorie. If I wanted to make this a meal, I would probably add rice, add beans, so we're getting a little bit more carbs, a little bit more protein fiber that way. Add cheese if I want some more fat, real sour cream. But this is just something I'm eating quick because I do have a meeting tonight that I need to get to and I was just hungry. So I'm gonna get this done.
Good?
You're damn right it's good.
Yeah?
So, you guys watching, make something like this. Use chicken, use ground beef, use turkey. This can fit anyone's macros.
Even. Fish tacos.
I think 3 of these wrap things are under 150 calories. They're very low calorie, the corn ones. So, have some fun with your cooking and yeah, peace. It's that time. Got the phone call off to the business meeting. Bring in a pen.